Well, I'm testing out Hap's Equinox 800 at the very tough school park that I usually hit. And you know what? His very first time here with the Equinox, he got him rosy silver. Yeah, it just is pretty good though. So I'm trying it out. I haven't had any luck today, except I picked up, I think it was a 54 Canadian penny. And yesterday I was out at another park, found one of these by accident. Yeah, another marble. Hey, what are the chances 2 days in a row you find a marble? I mean, out of the whole park and the school, and you dig marbles. It's pretty cool. Like that a lot. I'm chasing I'm still, I'm just, very first time on the Equinox, and I've only managed to dig maybe 4 or 5 coins and nothing old. I'm digging a lot of, he's got it set up so that the the higher tones kind of are louder, and I'm kind of going through and these are kind of scratchy and iffy, probably what I would call iffies on the E-trac, and a lot of nails. So if I owned an Equinox, of course I'd be trying to test this. I don't know how I would test it, but to hear the iron a little bit, because right now he's got it set up, and I know I can change it, but he's got it set up on a 5-tone, and I know that I've been going back and forth with the multi-tone, the 50-tone, yeah, we tried to set it up so I could hear the iron a little bit more with the high tone, so that that's what I like about the the E-trac. I can hear the iron next to the iron, and right now, as I'm hearing, well, I can't hear it next to, obviously with E-trac you can't hear it because the iron comes up the same, but you can see the bounce numbers, and on this is kind of different, because this nail, a lot of nails I've been getting have been coming up a scratchy high tone, even all the way around it. At least with the E-trac, I could get maybe a high tone in one direction sometimes, and then it would blank out in another. So it's a learning curve, but it's fun because it gets you back into the hobby. Nail, but marble. Alright, so this is a little trippy. So I picked up this little sound that sounded like a dime. It was just under the surface, and it's an earring. Correctamundo. Well, I wasn't near this spot. I don't even remember where I found the other earring, but in my coin pouch, which I haven't cleaned out in a while, is it's gonna be a little weird, but there it is. There's the one I found like a week ago, and I didn't even find it in this area at all. This one, I don't even remember where I found this one at. It might have been at this park, but it sure wasn't near here. And that is the weirdest thing, that I actually found a mate to it. I don't even know if I found it in this park. This is the strangest thing in the world. Wow, what are the chances? That's cool. And freaky. Alright, in Central Park, no metal detector, foreign coin. I had actually picked it up to see, I thought it was a regular dime, and it's actually not. It's actually a 2014. I'm not sure where that's from. It's thicker than a dime, but cool. Hey, you don't need a metal detector to find coins. So I'm watching Calabash do a Clad test, and I got to ask you about the Deus too. Watch this for a second.
$61 on a Clad nickel. Clad penny. 92.
Clad penny 92.
92, folks. 92. That's full tones that I've got this machine set up in. 95. 95 on a Clad quarter.
And
the good old trusty dime.
92 on the dime.
92, yep. 91, 92.
So he just did 90. He just did a Clad penny and a dime, and they both rang up the same number. That's horrible. That is completely horrible. Granted, they're both about the same size, but they're totally different metals. And there should be a difference in ID numbers on that. So what am I missing on the XP Deus 2 and how it's differentiating a dime versus a penny? Because when I go detecting, I don't want to dig a bunch of Clad pennies. Well, this is some of my tokens I found over the years, and I have some on sale right now, more modern ones on eBay, and these ones here are some of the older ones that I haven't done much research on, and I don't know if any of these are worth anything. I mean, pretty corroded on most of them. That says Ford 49er. So yeah, it's going to be taking a look at these, probably put these up on eBay for sale, because I just don't want to drag them around, and I really don't have any use for them. So it's a kind of a, some of them are in really good shape. It's a plastic one there. And some of these aren't like trade tokens. Some of these are commemorative, and there's some play money in here too. But yeah, so anyways, just wanted to show you a few of my tokens I found over the years, and I have more. I've got like, these are like presidential tokens, shell and other kind of tokens, and I also have a few more of the Washington. Gosh, I have some. I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot, but I probably have about 25 of those Washington state token tax tokens. And yeah. So if I don't sell these now currently and want to research them later in retirement, I might do that and maybe sell them while I'm on the road. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just trying to clear house. Hey everybody. Hey, just for the little bit retirement segment, I just wanted to share, always wanted to share some tips and information for those of you who might be interested in retiring early or just in getting close to retirement. One of the websites that I loved a lot during my research was smartasset.com, and they have a lot of different segments. If you click on retirement right here, it brings up a lot of information that you could use. One of the informations in here that I used a lot was down here, this one, and this was tax friendliness calculator, and you can do it by state. It tells you which states are very tax friendly, which ones are tax friendly, the whole list down there, moderate and not tax friendly. But that's got to take some of that with a grain of salt, because a lot of times things like tax friendly, like Connecticut is a place that I might consider moving to, but not retiring to. But Connecticut has super high property taxes. And so what you do is you can click on any state. So I'm in Oregon, and if I do if I do zero Social Security and say I'm going to withdraw $50,000 from my retirement fund every year, say you just put some basic information if you're filing married, it'll tell you down here what your taxes breakdown is going to be, federal and state. Now, mind you, any state that has no income tax, like South Dakota, Nevada, Washington, and there's 7 of them, you're not going to end up paying that income tax, that state income tax. So like in the state of Oregon, if I had an income coming out of a 401k or an IRA, $50,000 a year, living in Oregon, I would pay an extra $3,100 in taxes, where versus if I lived just over the state in Washington, I'd be saving $3,100 a year. That's a good chunk of change when you're on a fixed income. So if you scroll down past this, past the garbage, then the advertisement stuff, it gives you a little bit more information about Oregon's taxes, what their tax rates are, why it might be moderately tax friendly, breaks down their tax brackets per income, and just more information regarding taxes and housing, property taxes, cost of medium cost of houses. So yeah, so that's kind of a key thing, is to look at what the taxes are, like the sales tax, income tax. One of the states that I would maybe domicile to would be South Dakota. South Dakota, of course, has zero income tax. So you'd end up paying that if you had an income of $50,000. If you added some Social Security to this, like say you added $15,000 of Social Security, but dropped this back by $15,000 to $35,000, so now you got the same amount of income. See how it changes your taxes? It dropped it down to $1,400 from $2,500, so it's $1,000 savings a year, and this is in South Dakota. So it's a good tool to start practicing putting things on paper, knowing like maybe I should hold out if you're working and you figured out your Social Security at age, maybe your Social Security at age 63 is $19,000, and you had, your budget allows, maybe you need an X amount of dollars, and it changes these little numbers. You can go in and change them. And see, it's like $40,000. You got zero income, no taxes. So you can play around with this and get to numbers that work with you. Say you only have a budget of, say you can take out a budget of $20,000 a year from your IRA 401k so that it will last you X amount of years. Then you have to figure out, well, how much Social Security am I going to have to wait to, take? Maybe my Social Security is $20,000 a year, and this is your budget. It's still going to be zero. So something to play with, and it is kind of fun when you start putting numbers on paper and looking at the tax savings. Now, if I were to go to a different state with those exact same numbers, hypothetically Oregon, with the exact same numbers, 20,000, 20,000, I still have to pay a little tax, but it's not bad. Okay, so Connecticut is a state that I was maybe considering moving to, but not retiring to, is it's not very tax friendly. So 2020, and look at its taxes, zero. It's just, you got to take that with a grain of salt. You got to do your numbers, and you got to look at the state's other taxes, the property taxes, the car insurance, all those little things. And it talks about all of that in down here and below about the taxes. And, Connecticut does have kind of higher housing. So just want to throw that out as my retirement tip. Smartasset.com is a great little tool to start with. And if you have a financial broker, like if you have a 401k through your employer, go to their website and log in and see if they have any retirement tools. And I will share something like that next time. There are a few free downloads that you can use that are really good, and then a couple of the others that are too bad to look at. All right, thanks. Hope you enjoyed the video.